Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my 3:30 instead of 6:30 Tuesday live. Happy Valentine's Day 2023. I'm excited to share with you some fun things about the two tags the two punches you can earn through celebration. My name is Leanne Furness, and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Rochester, Minnesota. I've been doing this for almost 23 years. I love it. I love it. And I love being creative, and I love doing it with other people so that you can see, you can feed off of each other's creativity. So whether you're watching live or you're watching on a replay, make sure you comment, say hi to me. I will try to respond. I'm trying a different version of what I was doing before this summer, and I'm not doing Zoom, so I can't have comments verbally, but you can certainly give me some via the chats and the messaging. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the fun because, see, I took my glasses off because I didn't like how they were glaring, and then I can't even read what I'm doing. Let's get to the part that you guys really wanted to see. So celebration is going full force, and celebration is crazy, right? So you get so much for free. And originally you get a little catalog, and I don't have it with me, of course, because that would make sense. And then they added extra stuff. So now we've added all these different but yet fun options. And I wanted to highlight these two because when you look at it, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, I see a bird and a tag. What else can you do with that? Why on earth do I need this? Well, let me show you. So here we have the Bird Builder Punch, and you can Songbird Builder Punch, and it is in the annual catalog on page 152. And here is our Essential Tag Punch that is also in our annual catalog, and it is on page 154. So we're going to start with our bird. And, it goes with the stamp set. Sweet Songbirds. Makes sense, right? So these are all swaps I have from different people. Kim Nolan. And she just did a traditional, she stamped the ink and then punched out the bird. This guy is from Brenda Cardinal in New Mexico. She punched out the bird and then laid him in a nest. And then this one went a little crazy. Well, actually, not really, but she punched out some designer series paper, what we call our background paper, and put that on top for his wing. So then it kind of was a little bit different special. And that's Denise Kessler in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. So those are some traditional bird ones that you might think when you see this bird punch and this bird set. Okay, so now what if I told you we could make a cardinal? What you would say? What? Okay, my cardinal looks a little like it's been hanging out at the bar too long or something, but we're going to make him work right now. So what I did is I punched out all of these parts of the red from Real Red. And I don't know why that does that, but it does. It's okay. And then, so we're going to use this as the part of the cardinal that is black. And I mean, I've only done this once or twice, so I'm getting better at it each time. But I'm going to go ahead and use my adhesive. That is really dark down there, isn't it? Let's try this. Then you get my singing for Valentine's Serenade. I'm going to go ahead and this is just a circle. It's dark because it's black. It's a circle cut out of the black cardstock. And I don't know the measurement because I didn't think it was that important. And if you follow me and you listen to me and you stamp with me, I do not worry about measurements very much, and it probably drives most of you crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the back side of that circle. And then I have kind of what looks as the black part of the cardinal. No, this is a stretch, maybe. Excuse me, for a cardinal, but it's still going to work. All right. And then I want to take this tiny, teeny, tiny beak, and I'm going to pick it up with my take a pick tool and put that glue dot. Well, before I do that, I'm going to make my glue dot half its size. So I'm going to roll it upon itself. This would be so much easier if I put this down. I can get this stamp set out of the way. Pick that up. You probably can't see a thing. Oh no, now I have a conundrum. So I'm going to go ahead, put the glue on my beak and move him over there. So now we have a beaked cardinal without eyeballs. So then the trick with punch art is always finding something that you have to create the parts, right? Like, so I was trying to figure out what can I use for the eyeball, and I had this teeny tiny little white cutout that's from something that's retired. So I don't even know. It doesn't matter. But I know you all have parts and pieces and all that good stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and put his eye like that. And then I'm going to try to color in with our black Stampin' Write marker and not make him look like he's been stoned all day. Because, I mean, it is a glary day, but seriously, I don't even know what I was thinking. But that's a little better, maybe. And then I'm going to go ahead and use some dimensionals to pop up his wing so that I can have his wing kind of up higher than his or her wing. So I got to clearly practice with this cardinal. I think there are some really cute ones out there. People are very creative. And when I said I would love to show you what other demonstrators have done, this is pretty much what I'm doing. I'm just using their ideas and making it my own a little bit, but not a lot. All right, so now we have a cardinal. So that would be cute, like in a winter scene, and I really got to work on what that cardinal face is supposed to look like. I think it's supposed to be more diagonal. That makes more sense. Well, I'll post something if I figure it out. Okay, so let's keep going on with the songbird builder punch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this little young lady. How stinking cute is that? So basically, I'm going to show you how I made her, and it's with punch art. And, you know, I just think she's pretty darn cute. So here's how you do it. You take your bird punch, and we're going to punch part, and I should have written down the lady's name that had a YouTube video on it. I will link it to her after this is done. And I'm just going to go ahead and have this is going to be for the face. And so we don't need the whole bird. We just need that little part of the face. And then we need a second one to be for the shoulders. Because if you can't tell, she's kind of a risque kind of person. She's got her shoulders up because she's thinking it's summer. So there we have the beginning of our friend. And then I'm going to go ahead and punch the bird out of the basic black. Now, you'll see me punching all of them at the same time. Stampin' Up! Really does recommend you do that versus just trying to get part of it out, because then your punch becomes uneven. I don't know if I subscribe to that, but that's what they suggest, and it is their product, so I guess we should probably try it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and and now a lot of things with the punch art is you have to do a little trimming, and it's like, I don't know how people figure this out, but they do. So I'm going to go ahead and trim off. Well, that is just really dark down there. I don't like it. I don't like it, I say. All right. Well, I don't know. Maybe I turned this. It's my new camera. It's my new system. Maybe it's the black cardstock. No, it's too bright. Oh, for crying out loud. All right. So now we're going to get rid of all these other little parts we don't need. And maybe you can kind of see how this hair is coming together. Super cute. Of course, you could do any color hair you want. And so then I'm going to kind of mush this over to the garbage. I'm going to then use my handy dandy silicone mat because I don't want to get glue on my paper that's not being glued down, and go ahead and make this so that it is her hair. I guess it could be a he. I guess I shouldn't use a pronoun that I don't know. It's their hair. There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and do this and add down there. So cute. Now, how did I get her face? Well, again, being creative, I looked at the Sweet Songbird stamps and I thought these are great for eyes and cheeks, and this would be great for a lip. So you gotta love, well, I didn't really think this up. The lady that demonstrated this thought it up. And I was like, oh, it's so smart. So smart. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp her eyes right on this Blushing Bride cardstock. And it does look not quite Blushing Bride, but you know, it's okay. So that's perfect. And then what I also want to do is make some cheeks. So I'm going to grab the Flirty Flamingo, which kind of looks like a sunburned girl in my world. So I'm going to go ahead and just stamp the 1/2. Did you see how I do that? So you can get more bang for your buck. You can just have part of your stamp inked up. You can put tape on the other part. You can do all kinds of fun things with it. But that's the simplest way to do it. And when it's a photopolymer stamp like what I just showed you, it's super easy. So then I'm going to go ahead, and these are originally the smiling eyes of the bird. If I stamp that right here, that's what that would look like. But what I'm going to make it into is a smile. So I'm going to open up my Real Red cardstock or Real Red ink pad. Do exactly the same thing. Just try to get part of that stamp inked up and then stamp her smile. How cute. So that's her face. That's kind of how I did all that. The greeting, the sentiment, "You are so loved," is from the A Grand Kid in the annual catalog. It's a fun one. I got it because, of course, I'm a grandma. But, you know, really, there's just some fun little sayings, and you can find that in the annual catalog. Then let's finish building our little friend here. So I'm going to go ahead, and then this is going to be her shoulders. And you're never going to guess. Guess what this shirt's made out of? Not the bird punch, but the Essential Tag Punch. The other one you can get for free with a $50 order. So if you don't already, if you don't already have this punch, you might want it after. So you can just order $50. You can use the host code that I have written down up here. You can give me a jingle. I will help you out. And I just think that looks kind of like those shirts where your shoulders are hanging out. I don't really like my shoulders, only because probably I don't exercise them. And if I exercise them, I probably would like them better, wouldn't I? And then I'm going to go ahead, and so it's just as kind of big, but we're going to have a little block over it. Oh, my Valentine is home early. I don't know if you can hear that over the video, but our garage door is the loudest garage door in the universe. And so there's no sneaking in. If we had kids, we would never be worried about how the kids got inside without letting us know they were home, because whew. So I kind of like to turn her head a little bit just because she's like, well, hello there. Now the flowers, let's talk about those, because those are super cute. Well, where do you find those? Those are in the daisy, they're loose daisy embellishments, and they're at the Rain or Shine suite in the mini catalog. Let me get that out of our way. So what I did, and you can do this one of two ways, but I think this is the easiest way to get these little suckers on there. I put like a little pile of glue. This is our Tombow glue. Oops, and I think someone told me that it's clear now, maybe. I don't know if I like that or not. So then I'm going to go ahead and get my Take a Pick tool. And I've been talking about this, but I had somebody, like even one of my team members, saying, you should talk about that more. I don't even know how to use mine. Well, we're going to learn. So I picked up the daisy from this pile of fun, and I'm just going to lay that down and let the glue dry. I'm going to do the same thing. Pick that up and then put the yellow one down. So it's kind of like her little barrette. That down. Whoops. And then the thing I don't like about the Tombow glue is that it goes everywhere. So just kind of have to be gentle. And once this dries, I'm going to show you a different part of my mat here, my silicone mat that I have dried already. You can just rub it off. You don't have to be all worried about it getting gunky, or taking some painter's tape and going over it will help you get that off. But anyway, you kind of get the gist. So that's how you make a little young lady out of a bird punch. Who'da thunk? Okay, so now let me show you, like this is the dried goober stuff. So if I just do this, I'm going to go ahead and rub that off. So that's kind of fun. Now, I didn't tell my husband I was doing a live today before we go out for dinner for Valentine's Day, so he might come in here and it's okay. We're live. It's all good. All right, now let's focus on that tag punch. You're getting more bang for your buck than you expected today. Here we are going to use I'm going to show you a couple projects. I wanted to go over heat embossing because we don't do that very often in my classes because it is a messy thing. But however, it is also a wow factor. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to highlight using the Essential Tag Punch and the papers that are from Ready to Ride, which is also in the mini catalog. So that's for our card. That's our card. But this is the card we're going to make. It's a masculine-y card. I'm not sure about these. I just can't decide if I like that or not. But let me show you. I have an idea of how I'm going to fix that. Of course, the paper is two-sided. And so we have this great, it's a specialty paper, so it's $15. So we have this great embossed image. And I thought, well, wouldn't that be great if I embossed the happy birthday with my black embossing powder to make that really pop out. So let me show you how that works. First of all, you need the punch. Here it is. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a punch of this side. Seems kind of wrong, doesn't it? And then I'm going to go and talk about this little tray. This little tray you can't see in a catalog, but it's an online option. And you're going to hear a lot more about online options coming here in March. I think sometimes the world changes so quickly. We need to keep our offerings fresh. And that's one way Stampin' Up's going to do that. But you can order this kit if you don't have any of these parts. And this is kind of the bomb, right? So it's called the Embossing Buddy. And you can buy it other places. I don't know where, but I got mine here. And I put this on there just so I can grab it easier. And why you want to put that on your paper is that it kind of acts like an anti-static pad, so that when you stamp, your embossing powder doesn't go all crazy and stick to everything, because nothing makes an embossed image look crappy than a bad stamped image. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the stamp set Peaceful Moments. It's been a favorite of mine from the annual catalog. It is just got it's really a nice, in fact, I have two. I don't know why. But, let's just use both. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to stamp right in here. And I'm going to use my Versamark. Oh, for crying out loud. Now we're starting over because that is not going to be good. Because what will happen is that ink will stick to where that Versamark fell. Jeez. Okay. Here we go. One more time. I'm going to grab that same paper, the same tag. I'm going to use my Embossing Buddy. I'm going to look at my card, I should put it right here, to see which direction I want my happy birthday. So I have that right. And then I'm going to go ahead and hold on to my Versamark pad and get this inked up. And Versamark, it's a watercolor mark. You can't really see it. And that's why I hesitate to do this on a video. But so then when I pull that up, you probably can't tell. There's just a little happy birthday. You can kind of see it in the middle. And I'm just going to pour this embossing powder over it. Okay, well, it's going to be good enough for today. And you see how I flicked that? You want to do that so that you get all those little pieces off, so that you don't create a huge mess. Then you take your heat tool, and it's not an hair dryer, it's a heat tool. You can do this over a toaster. If you don't have a heat tool, I would highly recommend, if you like this technique, to get a heat tool. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on. It's going to be loud for a minute, but I want to see if you can see how oh, hold on. New camera. Let's get used to it. Okay, so you can see how it's gritty and not shiny or smooth. And then once it gets hot, my hand is going to start burning things. Hold on. That's why we have this tool that comes with that whole kit. They're like $13. Good. So back up here. And I had it going, and I had to save my finger. Oh, craziness. Okay. Now, I think you can see if it's melting. My H did not turn out, but I'm not going to sweat the small stuff today. But you can kind of see, there it is, how it's getting shiny. So just give it that same glossy look as the paper does. And it really does, take not long, and it really does add a lot of pizzazz to the card, to the grading, really. Kind of gives it a professional look. So let's go ahead and work on, well, let's get that back in Zoom. Let's go ahead and work on the rest of the card. Okay, so we have this. We're going to punch out this. It won't matter really what direction. Punch out one of these. Now, like I said, they're double-sided. So if you have a motorcycle rider, you would want to use some, maybe the other sides as well. This is kind of like a memories and more scrapbooking part too. So there are lots of things to look at that designer series paper that we have. Okay, so now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more. Where in the world? It's on the other side of what I punched. So I'm going to use the one I dropped. Yes, save the day. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and grab my basic white that's cut to its typical second layer size, which is 3 3/4 by 5. Yes, because the next one's 5. Okay, so 3 3/4. I lied. It's actually 4 by 5 1/4. So then you're going to kind of just line those up. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit from what I did on my sample. And I'm going to, that's the happy birthday part, so let's not do that. I'm going to wonder what I did with my silicone mat. Okay, so when you're doing this kind of stuff, you want to start on the edges. And so I'm going to align that and kind of eyeball it to make sure that it's the same. And then I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. And the reason I'm going to do that is because then I can space the middle out perfectly. So then I'm going to go ahead and take this guy. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. This guy, I'm going to take him and put him right across and line it up. And if you notice, I kind of just lay it on there. And then once I get everything done, I give it a good push to make sure it's sealed and attached and all that good stuff. But really, you don't want to just like lay it down and just, you can do it. I guess that's called you know, praying and hoping. So I'm going to go ahead and just line that up. And you can kind of see where I'm not sure. I am really not sure about the little ovals. I would love to hear what you guys think about them. They kind of bother me, and I don't know what the deal is. So there's a couple options we're going to try. Well, hello. And actually, I just thought of this right this very minute, so I'm going to hold off on that. One option was to take this ribbon, which is also available now for Sale-a-bration, and put that over that. But I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I just decided I didn't like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going back over here to my paper stack. And it's a big stack, so it's going to take me a minute. So hang on. I'm going to go ahead and just cut a strip of designer series paper that's different than what I've used. I think it's hilarious because my sister is a big baking girl, so she's going to love that paper. It's just gorgeous. But guess what? I don't really like it. Okay. Seriously? All right. I'm going with the theme of the guy. We're going to use a strip of this paper. And I was thinking about tearing it, but I'm not. I'm just going to cut it down to 1.5. And then, remember this was how big? 5.25. So I'm going to go ahead. Are you wondering what this brush is for from that kit? Well, that's to help me get the embossing powder out of that little tray. Sorry, back into its rightful place. So that, it's still not quite right. It's still not quite right. I'm thinking thinner. So now this is real live because I am just winging it and going crazy. Now, is this something you would like to see me do more often? I don't know. I would think it'd drive you crazy because I haven't quite decided what I'm doing. And then you have to watch me fuddle and fiddle. But maybe that's what you need to see that other people fuddle and fiddle. And you keep trying things until you get the look you like. Because at first you don't succeed. You want to try again. What if I did this? What if I added this pumpkin pie layer on top of that? And then, oh gosh, have him like that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to ask for some votes, I think. That's better than the circles, I think. I wish, so many things I wish. You know what would be fun? Maybe is if this paper was textured. So I'm gonna not texture it because I don't have a machine close to me. All right, well, we're gonna go with what we have. It's all good. I wonder if it would work better with, yeah. All right, we're going with it. We're just gonna go with it. We can add some fun things to it later. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this adhesive on and go for it. I'm just going to committing. I tell my husband all the time I have commitment issues, but not with him, really. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add, I could do the flowers up, but then it's not a very masculine card, I don't think. Well, that's not what I wanted. Now I've lost my stuff. Well, this is what we're going to do, I guess. We're just going to do the single thing. Oh, wait. There's this. Let's put it the right way up because, oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad there's some people watching. I can't see who you are. If you type in a comment, I might be able to see who you are, but I'm not sure. Now, here's another trick. I got adhesive on this back, right? And now I want it to be popped up to give it a little extra oomph because I just decided that right now. And I want to add a layer of the black behind it to really give it some oomph. So I'm going to go ahead and punch another tag out of that. And I'm going to kind of offset it. So I'm going to put it like this. and then pop this up. But this is already sticky, right? Remember? So I'm going to take this embossing buddy and kind of get rid of that sticky. So if you have something that's a sticker and you don't want it to be a sticker, that works great for that kind of a trick. So now you have a lot of reasons to order this little fun thing. And you should also never just throw your stuff around your craft room, because then you can't find anything. Gosh. All right, let's go like this, and I just decided right now how I'm going to do the back side of the tag. And this is how I roll, people. I just kind of go with my own flow. I'm going to go ahead and cut that guy in half. And then I'm going to take off my tabs. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the top, just give it a little bit of something, something, just to give it some definition. And then I'm going to do this to give it some definition. And then if you're really crazy, you could put a little piece of black right there. Oh gosh, I didn't turn my phone off. A rookie mistake. So let me get some piece of paper here, a little teeny tiny piece. Doesn't really matter, and I don't think you really need it, but I know some of you are very, I mean, does it really add that much? Maybe so. Oh, but you got to get some adhesive on it. So I'm just gonna wing it. I'm winging it. This is what I do. All right, my next project is kind of fun. It's super cute. It's with the new gnomes. You just wait. All right, so now I can put just adhesive on the back of this, in theory, and it will be, oh my gosh, sometimes this new adhesive from Stampin' Up! Works fantastic, and then sometimes not so much. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and just put this on my basic gray. Oh, I like that much better. I don't know why, but I do. Still the same concept, right? And then just for fun, because I have pumpkin pie paper, I'm going to put pumpkin pie paper on the inside. All right. So I'm going to do that. So I see me rub that off my fingers. Okay. So that's that card. Great. Wonderful. Okay. So then here's another thing about this tag punch. You might look at it and think, gosh, it's not very big. I mean, how do you even make a tag out of that? It works great for on top of a package, but you can make it also a folded tag. And these are my little friends from the Sweet Gnome stamp set in the mini catalog. This is for Valentine's Day for today. And then this is for, obviously, St. Patrick's Day. And it's kind of a bad shamrock, but we're just going to go with it because that's how we go with it. How you do that is you take a piece of cardstock. The trick is that you have to know the measurement of your punch. And so I measured it to be, well, I'm going to do it this way because this is what normal people would probably do. It's a smidge, that's a technical term, a smidge over 2.5. So this is, a smidge over 2.5. Let's see how well I did in cutting, because really, look at that. It's a little bigger, but that's okay. And then I scored it in half. So this really is like 5 inches long by 2.5 smidged cardstock. And I'm going to slide this in here if I can. And this is the hard part because it's double wide, right? So you really want to take your bone folder and get a really good crisp fold. It would be a lot easier if it was if you were using designer series paper, because that's less weight than our cardstock. But you know what? I won't give up. Okay, maybe I will. All right. So then when you get this in your punch, you don't want to go all the way to the top. See how I left that little gap right there? because that's where how it's going to fold. So I'm just going to go ahead and punch that. And now I have a little tag where you can write a little note. You could punch a hole up here, wrap it around a gift. You could do a lot of fun things. So it's really more than what meets the eye is my whole point of these little fun things, is that you can do a lot more than what you kind of originally think. And I know lots of you like that kind of fun, kind of tweaking thing. And I love punch art, if you can't tell. So there's that. All right. Thank you for joining. Have a very great Valentine's Day. And I will be back next week, if not before. I'm just really trying to figure this out and my schedule. And I know that this isn't a good time for everyone, but I want to be able to have time with my family too. All right. Thanks for watching.